And now for the feature address for today. With pride, we welcome Honorable Orville London, Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Let me take the opportunity to recognize the Honorable Minister with responsibility for Tobago Development, Mrs. Vanilla Allen Toppin. I'd like to recognize the Deputy Chief Secretary and representative for the area, Mr. Hilton Sandy, the Assistant Secretary in the Division of Health and Social Services, Mr. Huey Cadet. I'd like to recognize the Chairman of the Board of the Tobago Regional Health Authority, Mr. Keith Charles, Mr. George Bell, the CEO, other members of the Tobago Regional Health Authority, Dr. Aibuna, the General Manager, Primary Care, stakeholders, special invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, and of course I'd like to publicly commend the Public Health Chorale for once again entertaining us in this manner. I am very pleased to be here in two capacities, as Chief Secretary and as the de facto Secretary of Health and Social Services. And I want to take the opportunity to congratulate the Secretary with responsibility for Health and Social Services, the Assistant Secretary, also the members of the board for the way in which they have been conducting themselves in this difficult period. It has been said in many jurisdictions that there has never been a successful Minister or Secretary of Health and Social Services, because health is so complex and the demands are so great and the standards set are so high that nobody succeeds. That's just a thought. And therefore, in evaluating what is being done, one has got to be in a position where one recognizes what the challenges are, and that one is also able to evaluate where we've come from and where we're going. And to a certain extent, we tend to evaluate health systems, health services all over the world by the crises that occur, rather than the progress that has been made and the achievements of the particular health sector. And maybe this is as it should be, because health is about life, and therefore the standards must be high. And therefore we in the Tobago House of Assembly and the TRHA and in the division have a responsibility to ensure that we keep the standards high and that we are never satisfied with where we are. So as we progress, we will recognize that our ambition is to consistently do better. And it is in that context that I look at today's opening. Because I see today's opening as not just the opening of a clinic or building. And I don't just look at the beautiful work done in refurbishing, the provision of nurses and doctors, and equipment and supplies, even about the delivery of service, because I see this as part of a process. The part of the process of enhancing healthcare delivery in Tobago to a level that we in Tobago can feel comfortable that we up to first world standards. And therefore it is a continuing process. A process of doing, evaluating, and then doing better. That is what the whole objective is all about. And therefore, I am suggesting that our success will be based on our response to the specific needs of our people in the communities and in the environment. And quite critically, and this is something that we tend to forget, the people's response to that response. In other words, delivery of healthcare services is not just about the TRHA or the Division of Health and Social Services. Delivery of healthcare services is also about you, the members of the community. In other words, the division and the TRHA must identify the needs and must respond to those needs. But you, the people in the communities and in Tobago, also have a responsibility to respond in a particular way. And I'm saying that in respect of the Tobago House of Assembly, the Division of Health and Social Services, and the TRHA, there has been response. There are areas in which that response could be more effective, and we are going to address that. But I'm saying that it has to be a two-way process. It is in that context that I want to suggest that the community has to look at it, and we have a responsibility to deal with the community with respect to care and treatment, with respect to dissemination of information, with respect to sensitization, with respect to monitoring and responding. And I'm saying there is one area that I think that this Tobago House of Assembly, the Division of Health and Social Services, and the TRHA would have done extremely well. And it is in the provision of facilities. Because where the provision of facilities is concerned, this Tobago here with its 55,000 people is better served, and I'm saying this very slowly, better served than any landmass in the region. And I defy anybody to say differently. Because with 55,000 people, we have 17 health centers and 4 outreach centers. We have at Canaan, and of course, the services have already started, and you actually have it being officially opened on next week, Tuesday. 2 top-class health centers that have the capacity to provide services not available in many parts of the country at this particular point in time. In fact, what we consider health centers at Scarborough, in Scarborough, is what some islands in the region consider as hospitals. That's the reality. And I want us therefore to understand that we have the basis. In other words, we have the physical infrastructure. And one of the things we have to do, and we got to make the decision, how many more health centers should we build in Tobago? And when should we shift the focus from building health centers and clinics, etc., to ensuring that the quality of the services is at the level that with which we are comfortable. And therefore, the success of this particular facility must depend on the quality of the service that occurs, the level of interaction that takes place between the health sector and the community, and most importantly, the impact on the quality of life of the people, because that is what it is all about. Because I want to suggest to you that many of us do not understand and accept the importance of what happens at health centers and primary care facilities. We are going to be opening very soon a beautiful, modern, $700 million hospital at Signal Hill. 100 beds. And I want to suggest to all of you that the success of that hospital is going to depend on what happens at facilities like this. If facilities like this do not fulfill their functions, as beautiful, as big as that hospital might be, it is going to be overwhelmed. I'm suggesting to you, therefore, that all of us have a responsibility to ensure that we maximize the potential of institutions, of organizations, of institutions like this. The people in the health sector, we in the health sector, have got to ensure that people are able to gain confidence in coming here so that they will get top-class treatment for various types of ailments. So that when somebody is sick, the first impulse or the first instinct or your intuition should not be going in the hospital, coming in the health center. And it is at the health center, in many cases, the diagnosis will take place. So in other words, until such time as the people in the community have the kind of confidence in the health center, you're going to overwhelm the hospital. But the people must also have a mindset as to why we spend all this money. Why we put in a nurse? Why we put in a doctor? Why we put in a nursing assistant? Why we put in equipment? Why we put in supplies? Challenge us. Say you come and you didn't meet a nurse. Say you come and you didn't meet a doctor. Say you come and you didn't get the supply. But don't stay away. I'm challenging you. I am challenging the people of this community to challenge the health system. And if you challenge the health system and the health system does not function, I will deal with the health system. But I'm saying you have a responsibility to challenge the health system.